I was so excited about having a daughter. She's a beautiful little girl, just as sweet as can be, and there's nothing like holding a baby. Hi, my name is Odderstol, and my daughter passed away about 1 year and 4 months ago from cervical cancer. We had great hopes that she would survive through this, but right in the start of COVID, March 23rd of 2020, she passed away. Kat, as a child, she was just pure joy. She was my best friend. She's always was a sweet girl, and it's just such a blessing. Life is about just living it. And that's what she did. She really lived her life. She decided to go to Kazakhstan to teach English as a second language. Part of her dream was to help others through yoga and meditation. So she taught meditation, also got certified in Reiki. And I think it brought her so much peace. Prior to her diagnosis of cancer, she had some abdominal pain, and she knew she had some fibroids. And I had encouraged her to go to the doctor, and it was something she put off. We had no idea because it certainly didn't show on her body. We didn't realize how large her fibroids were. And she's such a tiny girl. And I came home one evening and she was in so much pain that I took her into ER, and basically they told me that her kidneys were functioning at 10%. She felt she was dying. I was shocked that that was actually in her body. So they did a biopsy and found out that she had cancer. And at that time, it was stage 3B. It's a shock. At conditions like that, you go into a fight or flight. It's whatever you need to do, you get it done. She went through 25 radiation treatments, and with the tiny body of hers, the radiation treatments caused all kinds of problems, just from this really bad bacteria called actinomycetes that she had to be on a PICC line with antibiotics, to causing fistulas, which are basically holes in your intestines. So they actually had to go in and try to patch up her intestines, and it was just, if I can say one word, it was horrific. Kat was so positive. Just a few months before she passed, she still was like very strong. She was teaching some of the nurses how to do chair yoga. I don't know how she handled it, honestly. She is the strongest person I have ever seen to experience what she went through. The last few days before she passed was the most traumatic. None of us understand why she had to go. We still don't. After Kat passed, it still was really, really hard going to bed at night, because that's when all of those visions would come. But there was, she had worn this robe, and I would keep it folded. I was in bed, and it was a hot day, and I had the robe kind of pushed aside because it was just a hot day. I remember like around 2 o'clock in the morning, sometimes you're like that half awake, half asleep state, and I saw this figure over me. And I thought, well, there's no one here because I have the alarm system on, it's just me. I woke up about 5:30. I opened my eyes, and her robe was completely draped over me. Had completely covered me. I started bawling in hysterics. I cried for hours. I think it was a way of her communicating to me that she was okay. And that gave me so much comfort to know she was okay. She has helped so many people, and her vision was to continue helping others. This Pure Cat initiative is, it's really helping others.
You know, it's interesting. I've had a lot of fears throughout my life, just like, I don't know, being afraid of a certain level of vulnerability, intimacy issues, really just looking at the truth that was inside of me. I think a lot of us have a tendency to numb and not really pay attention to what's really going on within. So I think it started out that way, but now that I'm, you know, just boldly knocking down all these doors inside of me, I would say that the biggest fear that I've come across that I find in a lot of people is just knowing how powerful I really am. And coping with that, like understanding what can really unfold within me as I'm pushing through all these fears and getting into the truth of my, you know, my spirit, my nature, who I am. And watching that power grow is, it's uncomfortable, and I'm not really sure where it's going to take me.